I'm here. I'm here with my brother, the one, the only, Rez Mula. What's good? What's good, Rez? Talk to me. How you feeling today?
Hey, sorry about that, guys. My agent just told me about this, and I had to take the opportunity to see my brother himself in the flesh, doing what he does best. How's it going? How's it going, everyone?
That's good. Yeah, that's my brother. That's the fam. That's the blood. Another germ to another germ. And y'all gonna learn today. Gonna learn today.
Yes, sir.
So class is in session. Tell me, my brother, how's your day today? How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. I woke up to a phone call, and it was literally, it was very random. But I'm here, guys, and I'm having a great day so far. I'm here in front of two good energies, and I'm ready for the questions. I'm ready just to, I guess, give everybody an idea of what's going on and who I am and who we are.
Yes, yes, yes. Give a little taste. I mean, that's the thing about working with energies, being able to just understanding what that is, because from the collective we come from,
Yes, sir.
energy is a big part. And
Yes, sir. Energy's everything.
but what's bigger than energy is synergy. And I say that because it takes multiple energies to create synergy. You know, that's
Mhm.
how everything is able to in sync and kind of gravitate from one point to another, all in this wave of flow that forms its own shape. And I think that we've done that many times. And you're one of the most creative people I know. So, give a take on what's your mind like. You as an individual, what's your creative intel on just how you move and what is it that you do or aim to be?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say that when we are young, the saying is that we're like sponges. So I believe that the will alone, it's always inspired. We always seem to imitate some type of idea, even if we're raised amongst certain family members that speak a certain way and talk a certain way. We're very quick to pick the same things up. So I think that creativity begins even before you could even bring up creativity. It's like, what do we pick up? What are the first things we're picking up? So I believe that plays an important role with your creativity because it comes from those certain disciplines, the manners, and once you learn those steps, everything with creativity comes. It just like it comes. It becomes something that later on you're able to grasp it, and then it's there on called creativity and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's always an influence to creativity.
There's always an influence.
What were your influences that always got you in that creative mode or made you the creative person that you are?
I want to say my mother. She's a very inspirational person. She introduced me to classical music at a very young age. She, instead of putting me onto growing up in a Dominican household, what I would say merengue or bachata, that wasn't really the thing that was happening. It was more like, listen, son, this is where we started from. This is where we come from. This is the beginning of I don't want to say the beginning of music, but anything that could be recorded. History has so much things that weren't recorded. So just imagine what we've missed. But besides that, my mother was able to show me Mozart, waltz music, and one of her favorite pianists, Richard Clayderman. So I was able to just grab that. That's how I feel that my creativity with music specifically started from, because it was all these notes, these strings, it's literally all the strings and the pianos and everything. Like, those were the things that made me it made everything happen. And it started from there. It started from the music. Before the music, I don't know, but it really started with the music. And yeah.
It's a little ironic too when you think about it. Coming from a Dominican home, Dominican culture, there's always this we are introduced early to the merengue, to the bachata, especially going these family events, always going being dragged to these these
The functions.
The functions, yes. You know, I mean, there's always a function for anything, especially when it comes to being Dominican. So I'm sure we was around that a lot, and being able to see that, that's one side that's already kind of associated with us, with the culture. So when you hear something like Mozart and Richard Clayderman, these are certain things where it's like, what? A young Dominican kid in New York City is listening to Richard Clayderman. For those who don't know, like you said, a very a pianist who's like, you know, composer, classic. But that does give a little feel of like the multicultural aspect of what you get from being around such figures. Like, I'm sure that that's one of those things that coming from your mother, from our mother in this case, just kind of gave us that feel, you know? Mama. Yeah, no, Mama did help us a lot, you know, with the ideas of just us helping to understand the world that we live in. You know, there's a lot of
big ups to all the mothers, by the way.
Definitely.
For real, all the mothers, man. Let's stop fronting like, you know, dad's the cool one or whatever. Mom always got something very special. Mom is mom. Mom is life.
Mom is life, because mom brings life to this world, you know. Shout out to the fathers too. You know, Father's Day's just passed a few times.
Yeah.
You know, I said a few times because, you know, as Dominicans we have Dominican Father's Day, Dominican Mother's Day, and then so imagine that, adding that to the whole pot of
people. It's not easy. It's really not easy. You gotta, like, you're wishing your father and your mother happy Mother's Day like 2 times a year because of that. For those that understand what we have to go through, like, oh, what do you mean you didn't say Happy Mother's Day to me on Happy Mother's, like, Dominican Mother's Day? That's very funny. You can get caught up with even your, like, older, like, female siblings and cousins and even aunts.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what's up? Where's my Happy Mother's Day? It's like, wait, wasn't that 2 weeks ago? No, there's also one at the end of the month of each Mother's Day month and Father's Day month, so be ready for that. But it's all love, you know. Mother's Day, Father's Day is every day, and just appreciating parents and those who take care of us. Anything that came from our father, you know, what influences did Papa Rene bring to the table?
Well, there you go, Germ right here. Just kind of let everyone know that I'm the junior. Yes, and my father I picked up his name. So you can see how much already where that influence starts. Take his name, and not only that, he was very in love with baseball. My father, if I could say that my father had this might sound funny, but my father had multiple relationships. It's baseball, the family,
and the music.
This guy couldn't live without 3, but they all seem to like they all seem to like he always knew how to mesh all the three, but baseball would be number 1 because he was like, as soon as I was like growing up and all my I guess my reflexes were all put onto baseball. Learned the hard way. Didn't like it at first, but it became something that became kind of came like a blood. Became like a blood sport. It became something like as serious as it can get, from having other parents yelling at you at the games and telling other parents that their kids suck, like all that type of energy. And that was Bronx, New York, by the way. Bronx, New York. You know, playing baseball. There's no bigger political, and I don't know. It was just very big. So I got to give a lot of props to my pops to introduce me to this sport alone.
Yeah, holding it down too.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, because that kind of, it was almost like a disciplinary action, like helped us be disciplined to gain those I guess those, to be kind of like on point with what you do, to keep your body on point, to make sure that your mind is on like focus, because when you're on the field you gotta be ready.
That was like my karate.
Yeah.
Like, everyone that doesn't know this, like, that was like my karate. My father was like a sensei, and he was just literally like telling me everything I needed to do.
Showing us the ways.
which at the end of it all, it's great. I'm extremely grateful because you take that energy to the world that you live in, you know, through teamwork, through that discipline, through even just taking control of your actions, you know. You know, you can't be out here doing anything you want. People like, I want everyone to think, you know, for themselves and to think ahead, but sometimes, you know, when our parents told us to do a certain way, it's because they knew. And the same thing with our guardians and top leaders. The real leaders, of course, you know. A lot of people take these roles and they do a lot of they're doing more damage, you know. Shame on you if you're listening to this. Fake leaders.
It's true. It's true. It's almost like trying to find out who are the right ones to help us push us in the right direction. And sometimes we're living in a world where, you know, with fake news being, you know, alternative facts and all these things coming up.
Let's not touch this topic, man. It'll then become this will soon become, like, I don't know,
too political.
It'll get to politics, and then by the time I know it, I'm gonna start talking about the Bilderbergs and
yeah, all this now, man.
Channeling some funny what's this guy's name?
The Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. You're now in the Alex Jones show, everyone. Are you ready for the horrible tyranny that we're going through in America? Nah, I'm joking, guys. Don't come after me, CIA and everybody. I'm just joking.
Nah, because there's all positive vibes here. It's always positive vibes here. And, you know, sometimes
bless.
Pushing the troops out there is never easy, and you always try to find the right way. And I think music tends to do that a lot, especially more and more nowadays. Just looking at all the revolutionary action that led to music.
Music plays a very important role today, guys. And this goes like for anyone listening at the age, anything under the age of 15. Like, guys, you know, we're listening to like our role models, our heroes. You know, these guys. I want to speak to, like, as much as I can speak to an athlete. These are the gladiators. These are like, for me, everyone has a version now of a hero, because now there's so many walls being broken, and the hero was once on a Wheaties box. Now the hero is in front of a magazine. The hero is marching. The hero now is everywhere. It's just not one thing. So, you know, when I think about heroes, it's when I think about these influences and I think about heroes and you know, these people, I think like, yo, we hope you guys are holding a very big responsibility, especially since we're talking on the topic of music. You guys are the new superheroes. At the end of the day, look at all the endorsements. Look at the sneaker endorsements. I guess I don't want to bring up the money and all the stuff that you get, that, like, I guess the top guys are doing, but these guys have everything now, and that's exactly what the kids want. The kids want what you have. It's not more to say that they're envy, but they're growing to see maybe, who knows, what they want to become later, and they see that and they're like, oh, mom, I wanna have a fast car. I want this. I want that. And, you know. And that's how it is. Today's a different, you know, back then the heroes was a fireman. The heroes were policemen, and they still are. The same thing with everyone in the, everyone serving today in the militaries, but heroes are everywhere. And it's all about the influence, and I guess that this is episode today, I would just love to say that the power word would be like influence.
Influence. Yeah.
Where do we come from? How does it start?
Yeah, I mean,
is this the first episode?
No. Well, it's the first episode here, going on through the weekly process of being here, being out and about.
So this is EP1.
EP1, but more like EP3 because I got two.
Okay. You know, guys, you guys have the freedom to check them out on SoundCloud. Am I mistaken?
No, yes, they are on SoundCloud. You can follow it on IRGerm. That's I.R.G3RM. Check it out. That's I.R.G3RM. And yeah, you can see those. There's something about what you were talking about with heroes and the heroes in music and the heroes that we have nowadays. Is there any specific heroes that you have in music that you feel are taken that role or that have kind of helped you visualize what that means, or anyone that kind of fits that representation through your eyes, through your feel?
Well, I'm going to speak out of my own opinion
Yes, freely. Speak freely, brother.
because everyone finds a way, finds that one person that inspires them. I mean, Michael Jackson.
Mm. The goat.
Yes, that man.
The great one.
That man. I don't know, like, even when I think about it, I could even talk about it right now, and I could get this feeling, this passionate feeling about what I feel about Michael, what Michael did. I was young enough, but to understand what he was doing. Like, when I saw that he was having, like, these specials on TV where they were showing his performances and his accomplishments. Like, I wasn't born in the 80s, but I got to see Michael when he was on top of the world. This was the mid 80s, mid 90s, excuse me, mid 90s. Like, this right here was everything. When I was seeing the way he was dressed, the way the silence broke in the crowd, knowing that he hasn't arrived yet, all those little things, and just seeing how people were crying because the impact was so strong. It was like climax after climax. It was just like the volume was up from the very beginning to the very end, even without the sound. It's just that alone, and the guy itself, he was the best. I think an artist that can present himself, I think they can still continue to take notes from him. Everything was epic. It was cinematic. It was a movie. You know,
Every moment was like thought out, was
every
so
moment.
precise, and to give like
I think about everything. That this guy had like a militant style. This guy, seriously.
from the
I can't even,
fashion to
from the fashion to everything. He just really said this yelling. He was yelling out, "I am. This is who he is." So I don't know. It's just amazing. I really get emotional sometimes when I speak about Michael because he was that amazing, and that, like, a lot of things that's going on right now with music is no one's giving it their all.
Yeah.
Even if they do, maybe they might not have the idea, maybe they haven't found it yet, but it's just so crazy what he did. And that's what it is, the influences. He had a tough childhood, and you could just imagine what his father was going through. Speaking about fathers, and on top of that, his influence. It was amazing. Just that quick moment of silence right there. He's really, really is amazing.
No, of course, and you know, there's always a lot of controversy with Michael that always seems to spew out because of the power of influence that man had, and still does to this day. I think that's where the power resonates, like solely through the music, through the videos, through the visual presentation of everything that this man left behind. All these things help us move forward. These are the same. He has influenced the same artists that we see today, from the Kanyes to the Kid Cudis to people here doing the most they can with everything, every little sound, every little feeling that you could get visually. These colors that pop to your face, these performances that just like blow the roof and just give that whole sense of wow.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm still learning every day, guys. I'm still learning every day. I'm still looking back at it. Anybody, even before Michael. I know there's a lot of big names too. So,
is there any names today that you feel connected?
I got connected a little the other day. I was listening to not really listening, but I was actually just checking out a lot of the stuff from another artist from back in the days, Sinatra. I was looking at a lot of his old movies. And I was just thinking about, like, everybody has like this one star in these eras and time, and these little eras and these little like blocks in time. And I definitely I enjoyed watching it, even though, like, I can't say that I understood what type of music he was singing. Like, please, if I'm not educated on that, like, please don't kill me. But I mean, some of the things is that everybody wants to put a label on something, call it this, call it that. Even to this day, I still struggle with with like drawing and painting because everyone is, everyone classifies it a certain way or and calls it this and calls it that. I'm pretty sure that's out of the professional aspect of, this is what we go to school for, right, guys? To understand the different labels and stuff. But I mean, if you just love something without knowing its name or knowing anything about it, that just shows the type of light that you're receiving off of that. So, yeah.
I like that you said labels because we're in this day and age. There's always this thing about
more labels than ever.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes. I mean, we lived in a point where it's like, okay, you have to be this. If you're this, you're that. And now it's like you could be this, and that. You have multiple different layers of labels.
The branches.
Do you see?
Spread.
What if you were to? I don't want you to give yourself labels, but if you would give any words that could help describe what you do and who you are and what you see that you are. Because when I look at myself, I'm a writer, I'm a rapper, I'm a poet, I'm an actor, I'm a podcast host and filmmaker. I'm making all these moves that I know that I can make, that I am. And I show that in many different ways, through different variations of my style, my flow, my creativity. So what you see yourself as who you are through, like, in the terms of what words that you feel help represent to classify or declassify whatever you feel.
Okay. I could write this down and it'll probably come out more cleaner, but I'll definitely shoot. Labels. We can talk about labels. Names, titles. I can start with American.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an American. That's one. Two, I'm black and I'm white. My parents speak Spanish. I speak Spanish. I'm an artist. A creator. Not only also a creator, but a great, and also a spectator. A spectator. I spectate everything on what's going on in this world. One of the audiences. I'm an audience as well. I'm an audience member. This is the biggest platform on Earth. This Earth is our biggest platform, and we can see everything that's going on. So I would definitely call myself a part of the audience as well. Pretty sure we're all watching the world develop, for good or worse, but I'm also that.
Heard it, feel it. No, and I like the direction that you went with that because we are so many things. And like you said, you could have a whole list, you could have a whole book just writing of everything that you feel you are. And I think that's an important understanding of also knowing who you are, what you see yourself as, but most importantly, what communities are you a part of? I love that idea of you being an audience member because sometimes we forget that we are we're not only just part of the show, we're not only just part of being the spotlight on you because this is your life, you are player one, but you are also part of the network of life that's all watching what's happening, what's all unfolding in this world.
Yes.
And we are taking the seat to see what's good as we step on stage whenever we do.
Make sure you guys that you guys are not diving because things are deep. Things get deep. If you dive, it's always good to dive, we take these risks. It's good to dive, but watch out where you dive at. Okay, guys, things can always get deep. And any or every circumstance opens this pool, I will sort of say, because I feel like you could always maintain a level or always sink. Maintain at a level or always sink. That's what I always believe. You can't do too much of everything they say because you might go crazy. Look at the geniuses that are, they delve so deep You know, and one of the we're talking all these we spoke about Michael, but look at somebody else that was one day spectating this as well, and he's taken almost not I don't want to say he's taken the idea, but he's influenced by almost all the ideas that are like by creating these short films and making 3 music videos up for one song, man. And I know that everything now he's not like a favorite because he's pushing certain notes, but Kanye, man, that dude right there, like he said he's spoken about a lot of things he's been talking a lot of things today that might not really represent his talent or his ideas, but like that's how deep you can go. That's how deep you can go when you love something so much. That's how deep he dove deep into that, and he's gonna continue that because someone has to do it as well. You know.
You gotta go with that deep passion and scuba diving.
You gotta go deep.
Gotta go deep down in the ground and see what's around, see what's in. I feel that, brother. I feel it, man. I'm gonna like give you a quick little session of quick random questions before we head out. You just shoot. You just shoot me real quick as far as you can with just what you're feeling, what's your type of vibe. So I'm gonna start with what color you've been vibing with. What color have you been like feeling or seeing the last couple of weeks or last day or so?
That's a good question. Colors. I don't know if this is a New York thing, but I've been very black lately. I don't know if it's a New York thing. I know that everyone's always like wearing black coats and black shirts. I don't know. But I've been very close to the colors. I've been very close to the color black.
Right.
As of lately.
And I'm wearing black too. We got the black on black right now, so we on that flow. What's good with? Is there a word that's been like traveling through your mind that just keeps telling you, yo? You know, is there a word that's been popping up that you feel you've been connected with?
A word that I actually want to say a word that I'm disconnecting with is comfort. Sorry to like turn that one into my own thing, but
hey,
it's just like comfort is one of the things that I'm trying to destroy. Like I'm just like, you know, anything that makes me too comfortable, I'm starting to get anxiety now. I'm starting to notice that a lot of it is like, yo, gotta keep it moving, man. Gotta keep going. This is not the promised lands.
it is not. Well, I feel you. No, that's really good. And last but not least, I'm just saying, any number in your mind, any number that's on the mind that you feel like you connect with.
A number.
Mm-hmm. That you've always connected with.
I mean, 35. 35 is a number that I like. I don't know. I really don't understand. I just maybe because I saw that number on a couple of jerseys back then, and you know these numbers. You know you got number 23. Yeah, number like 20, like a number like 23. That number
of greatness.
A number of greatness, right? And you say, oh, why? But it's part of culture now. You know, certain numbers just pop to your head and they say, oh, yeah, that's my number. And then if you want to go a little bigger, you go one over Jordan and you go to 24, right, guys? Because everyone has different hours and different moments. Like, you know, everyone is connected to certain numbers, you know? Or Griffey, too, man.
And everyone's connected to certain things. But we've connected today, and I'm grateful you came through. Just sending some love to everybody down here in WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. And we just showing and sharing these voices because we are who we are, I are who I are, and you are who you are. REZ Mula, REZ Effects, Renee German, you know it's always love. Any last shout outs before we go and head out and dump some guidance just to guide us through the day? Any last shout outs, any last words?
I got a lot of shout outs. I know this is like that shout out segment. But I definitely want to start with giving a shout out to my parents, even though they're not. I'm not saying they're not going to listen to this, but shout outs to them because we mentioned our parents, especially for anybody younger than like 15. Like, I feel like all of you guys need to like. By the way, 15 might be the number.
Hey.
15 might be the number because I just mentioned 15 two times and yeah. But besides that, big shout out to the family. Big shout out to the community out in Hell's Kitchen. Same thing with everybody in the Upper West, Harlem, Wash Heights. Everybody out there. Just want to show a lot of love out there. To the families and the tribes. Skeety. Next question. TCOG. There's so many guys out there that I show a lot of love and respect to. So yours ready, guys. Love and positivity always.
Much love.
The circle.
God bless. Keep it moving. Keep that circle circulating. And let's go on with the guidance with Travis Scott.
Guidance. Balance.
Every time I get this drunk, I hope I wake up.
We are the podcast.
I roll up behind it, I wanna try it. Grip on your waist, bust up the place, tantalizing.